Let's go over a game I played against Hikaru Nakamura. That was a Blitz game, 3 minutes per player, and I am black, and he's playing under GM Hikaru on Twitch. D4, he plays Bishop G5, Torre attack. Pretty standard stuff. So here I play D5 to occupy the center. Another possible move, C5 to take on D4. C4, Knight E4. So here I could have just played C5 for instance. I figured I would like to exchange pieces to avoid any tricks and attacks from white. Let's see what happened next. And here I figured, well, my bishop here could play along that diagonal. So I took on C4 to open up my piece. Logically, Hikaru plays Bishop E4. So now I didn't want to go into take. If he hit my rook on A8, I would have to play C6 only move. Castles. And now I figured I would castle as well, but I didn't figure out how I would develop my pieces. So instead of taking on E4 to exchange pieces, I stopped and played Bishop D5. Here I played Knight A6 to develop my pieces. Hikaru took and he castled. I wasn't too unhappy with my opening, and here I decided that my knight was on the ring. Could be better over here to try to go on D3 or come back to C6. So I play Knight B4. Hikaru moves the queen. C5. Taking Knight F3. So here I'm almost developed. I need to develop my rooks, maybe something like that. And I figured that my knight would be great on D3. So after thinking for 15 seconds, I play C4 with the obvious move to move the knight over here. And I thought I was doing well here. Now, Hikaru plays Knight D4. What is he trying to do? Well, trying to have counterplay on his own. Going over here, attacking G7. So I stay calm, keep developing my pieces. He played that move and I retreat. Obviously, I'm guarding G7 to avoid any checkmate. Rook D4. So the game is getting sharper now. I move on G3, my knight is exactly where I wanted it to be. Unfortunately, Hikaru has Rook G4. So now we have one time, second attack, third attack on this pawn. So I try not to panic and play G6, protecting from the threat. And here, in 1 second, Hikaru played right away Queen F6. Continuing to put pressure on the king side. Obviously, the threat is coming here, attacking here, and the rook, as well as Rook G6 is in the air. So I felt the hit, and here, that was a critical moment of the game. Despite the threats, all I have to do is move the rook over here and defend. Obviously, there's nothing here. If he takes, I just defend like that. If he doesn't take and come here, I have this move. And if he takes, I take. And if he plays this, I can attack the queen. He can sack the queen, get mine. We exchange pieces and black is okay. So at this moment, where it's looking like pressing black, Rook E8 was a great move. The second move that I could play was even simpler. I could just wait, play Rook B8, and if he tries to do B3 like in the game, Rook D7, and I'm holding. He cannot take over here, and I'm defending, and there's no mating threat against me. So instead, when he went here, with all his threats over here, let me remove that so that you can see, I just went king h7, figuring, well, now I'm attacking his knight because he's no longer pinned, and 97, I can move the rook, so I'm doing fine. I missed one detail in the position. Take. And this is a great move because if I take, lose the queen. So here I try to do the best defense, attacking here. Hikaru plays the best move, queen g5. And here my king is under pressure, trying to exchange the queen, which Hikaru goes to. I took actually with this one. And then he went over here. And here I was low on time. I played this. This is completely winning for white. So over here, when he played that move, I had just to move the rook. Let's say we to check, I'd come back. He's 2 pawns up and have a winning position, but the game goes on. Instead, I drop an exchange, and after these moves, white is building a winning position. So I played that move, and here the knight is dropping, and I lost the game. So going back to the game, the critical moment was certainly to play the key move over here, to play rook e8 or rook b8, just waiting, and I went king h7, and that was a big mistake. And the second key moment in the opening, I could have played in the very beginning. Here I went d5 with the idea knight e4, and I could have gone c5. And let me just show you real quick. Take, d6, castle, then b7, a4, a6, queen e2, and castle. Very solid position. That was a different setup I did not use. Thank you for watching.